What's up guys, my name is Michael, welcome back to another video. So today I'm talking about if you should buy the 2018 or the 2020 iPad Pro. So Apple didn't make very many changes when they updated the iPad Pro in 2020, and that's fine. The iPad Pro is still a very capable machine, and many people, even people who have the 2018 iPad Pro, should definitely not upgrade to the 2020 iPad Pro, as there are just so few changes in this upgrade. And like I said, that's fine, this iPad is still very capable, but there are still a few changes. I think there's 4 of them. So in this video, I want to go over everything that is new in the 2020 iPad Pro, and then talk about if you should buy the 2018 if you still can, or buy the new 2020 iPad Pro. Let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, Apple loves to do minor refreshes. Physically, this iPad looks identical to the 2018 iPad Pro. The only difference is the camera housing on the top left on the back of the iPad. This is Apple's new, design language for what cameras are supposed to look like, and it's going to look more like the iPhone 11 Pro. And if that matters to you, that's good. But like I said, if you have a 2018 iPad Pro, please do not upgrade just to get this newer looking camera. Inside this newer looking camera, we have an extra sensor now, which is a new ultra wide angle. It's not as good as the ultra wide angle on the iPhone 11 or the iPhone 11 Pro. It has 2 less megapixels, so this is a 10 megapixel ultra wide. It's not a very good sensor from my testing, so I'm just never going to use it. The ultra wide on my iPhone 11 Pro I have issues with unless I am in perfect lighting, and this sensor is now 2 less megapixels, so I'm not going to be taking photos anytime soon with the ultra wide camera on my iPad Pro. I do find the addition of a LiDAR sensor to be more useful than the ultra wide, even though LiDAR is still in its infancy and doesn't really have many use cases right now. So I'm able to scan various objects around my house, and I'm able to put a person in front of it, and it's able to get that person's height. Sometimes it's a couple inches off. I'm able to measure the size of my phone screen and my computer screen, but that really isn't useful. I think LiDAR is going to be getting many more use cases once developers can have access to it for the iPhone 12. So once Apple's most popular product, the iPhone 12, adopts LiDAR, I think we are going to see many more use cases for it, and I think it's going to expand the capability of this iPad Pro that also has a LiDAR scanner. And I guess technically something new that is still in the camera housing is the microphone. So this iPad Pro has new studio microphones. Now, I'm not recording on the iPad Pro, I'm using this microphone, but trust me, this iPad Pro has excellent microphones. It's even better than my more expensive MacBook Pro. So it wouldn't be an Apple upgrade without a new chip inside, but it's pretty much the identical chip as the 2018 model. So it has the new A12Z Bionic chip. Now, the A12Z is for an extra GPU core that has now been enabled. And if you have a 2018 iPad Pro, you actually have that GPU core on the chip on your iPad. It's just disabled by software. And my prediction is because that's to preserve energy, and it's going to be more efficient if that GPU core is disabled. And here with the A12Z, I guess Apple has figured out some more efficient procedures in the background, and they can now enable that 8th GPU core with no effect on battery life. So because more and more people are using this as their computer, Apple has now upgraded the storage from 64 gigabytes to 128 gigabytes. Before, I would think 64 gigabytes is completely unusable if you want to try to replace your laptop with one of these, but now that these come with base 128 gigabytes, I think that's the minimum to get by if you want to replace your laptop. My model here has 256 gigs. I think that's the perfect amount for what I store on my iPad. So I said it before, if you have the 2018 iPad Pro, do not buy this iPad Pro. Unless you have the money to and you are completely aware that this is a very minor upgrade. You're not really going to be getting very many improvements with speed. I tried gaming on this iPad Pro with Call of Duty Mobile. I couldn't really tell a difference in graphics compared to my 2018. The frame rate was the same and the quality of the picture was also the same. I also tried video editing on this iPad Pro, and to my surprise, it was about 1.5 times faster when I was exporting my project. So that A12Z chip is definitely more efficient, and that extra GPU core that is enabled is definitely helping. So this upgrade was, in my opinion, just enough for Apple to get by. For example, if they kept the storage at 64 gigs, I think that would have made people really upset. But they just made enough changes, upgrading the microphones, upgrading the camera, slightly upgrading the processor. I think this is just enough to warrant a new upgrade, and it still is a great iPad. And like I said, just because this is a minor upgrade doesn't mean the iPad Pro is not good. The iPad Pro was already amazing, and if Apple didn't even come out with this iPad Pro, I think just software alone on the 2018 iPad Pro with iPadOS, I think that would be able to replace most people's laptops. So this 2020 iPad Pro just extends the lead over the competition and makes the iPad just that little bit extra amount of better. If you can find the 2018 iPad Pro on Apple's refurbished website, I would definitely recommend buying one. I've been checking the refurbished site every single day to try to find a 2018 iPad Pro that I can buy refurbished from Apple. And I found them a few months ago, but now they are completely sold out because people are realizing how good of a deal they are in 2018 now that they are discounted. And people are realizing they just don't need the new features of the 2020 model. So if you can find a refurbished model, definitely buy it. It's going to be hard because they sell out fast as soon as Apple updates the website. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. A like would greatly be appreciated if you made it this far. There are 2 videos on your screen now if you're interested in watching one of those. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Michael, and I'll see you in the next video.